What is up, you guys? Welcome and welcome back. And in today's video, I want to talk about this. It's really the people cheering her on in the back for me. So welcome and welcome back to The Growth Space. It is your girl, Kiera, or Kemi, but you could call me Ki for short. I'm 25 years old, and on this channel, I try to help guide and lead the youngins out there by sharing my experiences as well as my mistakes, my very, very embarrassing mistakes, okay, with dating, finances, friends, and just life in general, so that you guys can avoid falling into the same traps and so that you can hopefully live a happy, successful, fulfilling, meaningful, purposeful young adulthood. So in today's video, I just quickly wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about surrounding yourself with people who find joy in your embarrassment. But before we get into that, because I don't want you guys to say that I'm getting on to the friends and I'm not getting on to the girl, this is not taking sides or anything like that. This woman is a grown woman, a very grown woman. She's not an 18-year-old girl. I wouldn't give her anything under 25, but from what I see, she looks like she might even be a little bit older than that, which is even worse, because as an adult, we need to understand that we are responsible for ourselves. We are the ones who are responsible for protecting ourselves, protecting our name, and protecting our reputation. And this lady literally just straight up embarrassed herself. And I'm not here to judge her because I've been embarrassing drunk before, okay? I've been drunk, sloppy, blackout drunk before, but I want to go ahead and talk about the people who recorded her, because as much as she was wrong for behaving the way that she was behaving, very, very low vibrational, like Coach Stormy would say, I personally think her friends were kind of weird for posting that. Now, the reason why I personally find this a little bit weird is because I think that the woman in this video was intoxicated. Personally, I don't believe that this is the behavior nor the face of a person who is sober. If she was, then disregard this entire video. But because of the fact I think she was intoxicated, this whole video is really about the principle. So go ahead and let me know down below. Does she look like she's sober or intoxicated to you? So let's go ahead and talk about why I personally think this was funny and the things that you can do as a responsible adult to prevent these kind of things from happening. Now, if you were in this position, if you were at this party and this young woman was your friend, what would be going through your mind? What would you do? What would you be thinking? I really want to know. Go ahead and let me know down below. Now, at the end of the day, the way we show up in the world is exactly how we're going to be perceived. I don't know her. I don't know her friends. I don't know if this is regular behavior for them, if this is just something that they do. And I don't even know if the girl herself has an issue with the fact that her friends put this online. Like, this is all assumption. I don't really know exactly what it is that's going on. I'm just using this as an example. And I am assuming that her friends are the one who posted it on the internet, because I just could not even imagine her wanting this to go public. But then again, you do have some people who like attention and they don't care what kind of attention it is. It could be bad, it could be good. It doesn't matter as long as all eyes are on them. But I can't help but think, who are these friends that she was with who decided that it was a good moment to pull out their phones and start recording? Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I was in this situation, if I was at a party and my friend got down on the floor, personally, I don't even think I would have allowed my friend to even get on the floor to perform this dance, okay? I would have definitely tried to stop them. Now, once again, she's a grown woman, so like with a grown adult is gonna do what they wanna do regardless. But I don't even think I would have been able to watch her, much less to grab my phone and start recording her. That would not have been my immediate thought in that situation. And just to make it worse, I don't even know if they were at a party, because I mean, the lights are on, everybody's just standing around looking at her. I'm not really seeing or hearing much movement in the background. It seems like all the attention is on her. So I don't even know what was going on there, but that just makes it even worse. And I understand the era that we're in. I understand that we're in a social media era, but at the same time, I think both parties are in the wrong, and I think that whatever's going on within you manifests itself in the physical. So I don't think it's a coincidence that she has friends like this. Maybe she's like that herself, and that's why her circle is the circle that she has. But at the end of the day, my message here is that this is not cool, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this extreme. Maybe you don't carry yourself in this manner, and you don't personally think you would ever be in this situation where you're publicly embarrassing yourself in the way that this young woman did. But it could also be when it comes to secrets. It could be when it comes to anything. When you see that a friend is constantly trying to bring up things that are embarrassing when other people are around, or if you're in a vulnerable situation like this young woman right here who was intoxicated and your friends take advantage of the situation instead of being friends and correcting you, and then they laugh at you about it. Whenever anything really bad happens to you, period, they seem to find joy and enjoy talking about it in front of other people. It could be for multiple reasons. A lot of people don't have no fucking personality. They see how dope you are, and the only thing that they think can make them one-up you or feel equal to you is trying to drag you down, not only in private, but especially in front of other people. That's the only way they can feel relevant. Sometimes it's just to get a little bit of clout, a little bit of attention, which is probably the reason why these friends embarrassed this girl in front of the entire world. They didn't see no problem posting it because views was more important than protecting her as a friend. The first thing you have to do to prevent this from happening is stop hanging around people who do not like you. You know the people who do not like you. Literally, now that I'm older, I'm able to look back on all the people who are not my friends now, and the signs were there. Those friendships were never going to last because they were toxic. And I wasn't any better back then, and this is why my circle was the circle that I was around. I was vibrating at a very, very low frequency, and so I attracted other people who vibrated at that same frequency. And so if you notice these weird traits in your friends, well, first you need to check yourself and try to figure out what it is that's going on within you that's causing you to attract these types of friends. A lot of the times they're just people that we know from our childhood and that we kind of drag into adulthood with us, even though cutting them off was long overdue, but because we're so used to having them around, we don't do it. So it could be that. But if every time you make new friends, they always seem to be of the same quality, they seem to be low-hanging fruit, you need to check yourself and ask yourself what's going on. It's the only way you can figure out why you're attracting these people, because only then can you start to make the changes required to heighten your frequency and attract people of better quality into your life. And I promise you, when you start doing this, it might get a little bit lonely in the beginning as things are a little bit shaky, but I promise you it is much better to be alone and to be happy in your solitude than to be surrounded by a bunch of snakes. The next thing you need to do is limit the amount of access that these people have to you. To be honest, I would personally say to completely cut them off. If you are seeing these repetitive patterns in people and that every time you guys are around people, they want to talk about, things that are embarrassing. And it could be things that happened when you guys were kids. It could be things that happened when you guys were adults. It really doesn't matter. They try to make it seem like it's just, it's just play. It's just a joke. You have no sense of humor when they're straight up disrespecting you. And guys, when your gut tells you that something is disrespect, when you see disrespect, don't let somebody come and try to convince you that you're crazy and that the disrespect is fun and that it should be something that is expected. Be firm on your boundaries. If somebody crosses your boundaries, don't let them make you feel like you're crazy. And if they do, that's a narcissist. And that's even more of a reason for you to cut them off, because they're gaslighting you and trying to make you think that what you are seeing with both of your eyes is not reality. This one specific friend, every time we were around people, especially if we were around guys, would bring up these embarrassing things that happened when we were kids. Look, I got my ass whooped a lot by my parents. She loved talking about the fact that I got my ass whooped a lot. She loved talking about, just these little things that happened in elementary school. And then I always used to ask myself, why is it that she always talks about things that happened years ago? And I realized that that's the only thing she could talk about, because I took my power back from her by limiting the amount of access to the information she has about me. So I stopped telling her about things that were going on in my life. I stopped sharing my personal life with her. And the only thing that was left was things that happened to us when we were teens or when we were kids. I took my power back. She had nothing to speak about. And that's another powerful tool. Cutting them off would be the best thing to do, do. But if you have a hard time cutting them off, or if you don't like confrontation, then that's fine. Stop putting yourself in situations where you can be embarrassed. Limit the amount of information they have about you, limit the amount of times that you go out with them, and slowly drift away, slowly pull yourself away. I moved to a completely different city. Now nobody knows nothing about me. All they could talk about is me at 18 and before. I'm 25 years old now. The way I see it, you betray my trust as a friend and your VIP backstage pass will be revoked. You will be returned to the crowd. You will stand there as a member of the general public. No more behind the scenes, no more backstage pass, and you will stand there and see and hear whatever the hell it is that I allow you to see and hear through social media. Whatever it is that I allow you to know is what you will know. No more opening up, no more late night talks, no more vulnerability. I will no longer put myself in a situation for you to weaponize the things that I tell you, or for you to take advantage of my vulnerability when you should be looking out for me as a friend. And in my personal opinion, I believe that this is the way these people or these types of frenemies should be dealt with. The less people know about you and the less people see you, the more powerful you are, especially in the face of your enemies. And people like this are not your friends. They are your enemies or your frenemies. You better know who they are. Go check out my video about the 8 signs of a fake friend. And lastly, ladies, this is something that I wish I took a little bit more seriously when I was growing up, but please, take control over the amount of liquor that you consume when you go outside. You are responsible for your safety. Yes, there are predators out there, but do not put yourself in a vulnerable state where you make it easier for predators to get to you. And when I say predators, I mean people like this, as well as people who are dangerous for not just your public image, but for you physically. There are all types of crazy things, kidnappings, all types of stuff that are going on in the world today. So please be very mindful and responsible when you go out and you drink. Nobody's saying not to drink. Nobody's saying not to turn up. But there is no fun in being sloppy drunk anyway. You wake up feeling sick. You don't even really get to enjoy yourself at the party. So what is really the benefit? Where is really the fun in just going to the club to end up throwing up and being on the floor in the bathroom all night, or waking up embarrassed and sick the next day? If you feel like you've had enough drinks and they say take another shot, learn to say no and to put your foot down and stand on your boundaries. Remember, these people love your embarrassment. If you are putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be extremely drunk and you're going to be doing dumb things that they're then going to be able to use against you, and if you keep doing this over and over and over, then that's honestly foolish behavior. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think about this down below. If you guys have any stories about when fake friends have tried to embarrass you before and you want to share them, go ahead and do that. Don't forget to join the email list for your opportunity to win cash and gifts every single month. I'll be doing a giveaway just to show my love and appreciation to those who show love and support to the podcast. And I will see you all in my next one.